Hey, welcome back to Recordingology, the study of recording. I'm Alex Case, author of Mix Smart and Sound Effects, two titles from the Audio and Music Technology Books division at Focal Press. We engineers might fairly be accused of reaching for EQ too soon. While using an equalizer to reshape the tone of an instrument is effective and convenient, we must recognize that many other decisions affect the tone of our tracks. If you have in mind that your snare today should sound like Bonham's in When the Levee Breaks from Led Zeppelin IV in 1971, you'll need to chase that sound from the beginning, when you hire the drummer, choose the kit, buy the heads, tune the snare, find a room, etc. You can't convert any starting snare sound into this one through equalization. Do you want the piano sound of Bruce Hornsby or Coldplay? Decide that before you track, not when you sit down to mix. EQ simply can't transform any input into any output. So before we focus on EQ as a signal processor, it might be wise to review the non-EQ forms of EQ, the other things besides equalization that influence the tone, as detailed beginning on page 44 of Mix Smart in Chapter 3, Equalization. When we select the instrument and choose the performer, we pretty much define the full range of possibilities for what we might later achieve sonically. Which instrument, the make, the model, the vintage, the condition it's in today, what settings for pickups, tone controls, the choice of picks, strings, sticks, mallets, heads, mouthpiece, pickups, all these things drive tone significantly. Following that, the tuning and voicing are major contributors to tone. Of course, the instrument should be in tune, but for some instruments, particularly guitars, many forms of alternate tunings might be used, and there's a broad choice of notes. A note might be played high on a low string or low on a high string, achieving the same musical pitch, but with a rather different tone. The voicing of the chords also influences the harmonic content of the tone. The 3, 4, or more notes that spell a chord can be played in any order, placed in any of several choices in the playable range of the instrument. There's more than one way to play an E minor. Great players and producers exploit this for uniquely interesting tone. The composition and arrangement have tonal ideas inherent in them as well. Talented composers aren't just chasing rhythm, melody, harmony, and lyrical content. They compose in part for timbre too. Great arrangers and orchestrators, when they choose which instruments play which parts of the composition, are further refining the tone. The performers, their skill, heart, maturity, energy, health, mood, and more drive tone with every physical gesture they make while playing. Though the performer's fourth on this list, they are really the most important decision you'll make on any recording project you take on. Choices of instrument and performer are not the whole story. The room acoustics further reshape the captured tone of your tracks, your choice of the room and where you place the instruments within that room, your choice of microphone and where you place it relative to the instrument and the room, as well as which mic pre you pair it with, are important audio components driving the spectral makeup of your tracks. But our discussion hasn't reached EQ yet. Other effects processors, non-EQ processors, influence tone too. It's discussed thoroughly in the books Mix Smart and Sound Effects, but top of the list are reverb, delay, and compression. This list of non-EQ equalizers is illuminating for three reasons. First, look at how long it is. Clearly, there's more to tone than EQ alone. Second, it might fairly be said that the bottom half is very much in the domain of the engineer, the room, and the gear. As recording engineers, we must, over time, fully master these important variables. Third, above the line lie components of tone very much under control of the musicians, producers, and composers. A truly great sounding project comes from pulling all the levers, orchestrating all the decisions, so that the desired final tone is sought out from the beginning, driven by the consensus of all who influence it. As you work with better talent, you'll find your tracks sound better because the tone is refined in positive directions by all involved. When you work with less experienced musicians, it is your responsibility to help them with instruments, tunings, compositions, and all the performance decisions that drive tone. I'm Alex Case. Thanks for clicking at Recordingology, the study of recording.